William, what are you humming there?
Come to the Camellia Show.
We'll take you to the Camellia Show next on Garden Time.
The Camellia.
Welcome to Garden Time, and first of all, we want to thank everyone that came out to Garden Palooza last Saturday.
Because it seemed like every one of you was there.
It was a fun day with record crowds and record temperatures.
And speaking of record temperatures, you know, many things are blooming early, and one of those things is camellias. We'll be taking you to the Camellia Festival happening in Newburgh.
Also coming up in the show today, we'll tell you how to get rid of moss in your lawn. Plus, we'll give you an update on the Tulip Festival.
But coming up first, we will show you how to prune your Japanese maple. So I'm standing next to Lyle, and Lyle, tell me who you're with here.
I'm Lyle with Bartlett Tree Experts.
And we're going to be looking at the pruning of Japanese maples because it seems like they are ubiquitous in gardens in the Northwest. Everyone has one.
They are, and there are many styles, types, colors, shapes, and you can go on and on.
And there is specific ways to prune the uprights versus this one he's working on, which is more of a weeper.
Correct. First thing you want to really think about is what's the objective.
Yeah.
You know, many people, if they like that full canopy cousin it look, that's definitely worth keeping. But the Japanese maple in itself is a very decorative styled branch structure. And if you can't see the branch structure, really you lose out on much of the value of it. And I kind of think of the leaves as decoration, seasonal decoration. So you get to go through the seasons and then you get the winter silhouette as we have here.
Well, and clearly this one has been worked on. You guys have worked on this one for a while, haven't you?
We have definitely been maintaining this one for quite a few years. You can definitely see how open the canopy is. All the branches are working out from the center of the trunk.
And who wouldn't want to see those branches? Those are stunning.
That's the value of Japanese maple, especially the weeping Japanese maple.
So what is he, it doesn't look like he's doing a lot of heavy pruning. What's he cutting
No,
off?
this is just basically winter maintenance. We're just getting ready for the spring flush growth, getting rid of some of the sucker growth inside the canopy. Realize that this will completely foliate itself as spring comes about us, and then we'll be back in June to really dial it in for the season.
Nice. And then what are a couple of the differences with the upright type of pruning?
So here we have a weeper, and there we have an upright.
Yeah.
Uprights are going to be more upright, and they're there to be large. And so in this situation here, the cuts that we're making are really just structural cuts to promote size and height and color and things like that. However, we do get a lot of these upright canopy Japanese maples in a front entry where they can outgrow their space.
Sure.
And that's where we'll be, same thing, kind of doing some reduction cuts to control its size for the available space.
Because I can see on that one, even on the top part, there are some, like, it looks like 4-foot limbs shooting out there. Those are long.
Yeah, that's 1 year's growth. And so we have to manage those if we're trying to control the size.
Sure.
Realize that pruning promotes pruning. So once you start pruning a Japanese maple,
you're going to have to keep up, aren't you?
You're going to continue controlling its size.
Now, let's say, Lyle, that I do have in my yard one of those cousin-it Japanese maples that has just been let go, and all you see is limbs in the winter and just a mop of leaves in the rest of the year.
Correct.
What's the hope of that?
Any Japanese maple can be started if it's never been pruned and it's 50 years old to it's brand new in the canopy. The real first steps is just getting that structure. And winter time is the best time to make some of those bigger cuts. You know, when they're just a mass of branches folding over each other, that's where we can really get in there and see the structure and start building the canopy of a well-maintained Japanese maple.
And you know, people are so afraid to prune, but the bottom line is generally you can screw it pretty badly sometimes, and nature's forgiving.
Japanese maples will recover every time.
Yeah.
So,
well, and so if people don't want to actually do this themselves, we could certainly always invite you to go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. They've been doing this a long time. They get maples, they know which ones to cut where. So if you want that information, just go to the website and we'll click you over there. Lyle, it is always a pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Success in the garden starts with the right plant in the right place. Farmington Gardens can help you succeed in planting and selecting for any corner of your garden. Spring is a fantastic time of year. colorful, fresh, fragrant. And Farmington Gardens will help you revitalize your garden. So let's get started. We're here to help. Open every day and just a short drive out Farmington Road. Farmington Gardens. We're growing for you.
Millions of tulip bulbs transform this farm into one of Oregon's most beautiful events. The Iversons invite you to the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival presented by Silverton Health. Enjoy a tulip market, food and wine, and fun for the kids. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival open daily 9 to 6, now through May 1st.
Judy,
Yep.
do you remember when I asked you if you liked me? I mean, if you really liked me?
Yeah, I liked you on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I need you to do that again.
Well, we really need everyone to like the new Facebook page for Garden Time. So you just go to gardentime.tv and click on the Facebook icon and like us again for our brand new page.
Create a beautiful living space both inside and out with the help of Terra Casa.
Outside, you'll find pottery, fountains, and decor to make your garden unforgettable.
And inside there are home furnishings and just the right accents to make your home warm, inviting, and most importantly, comfortable.
Terra Casa has a huge selection of merchandise to fit any home or budget. Plus, we still have all the unique and distinctive gifts that you have come to expect from Terra Casa.
Terra Casa in downtown Damascus.
Well, it's also exciting in the spring because it's time to plant your hanging baskets. And I'm with Donna from Black Gold, and you have a wonderful project for us today. So what are we going to plant?
Right. What I did is got the containers
I
here.
love these.
Yep. And what you should do is soak the coconut fibers first, and then you can go ahead and plant.
And what kind of soil are we using
We're
today?
using Black Gold all-purpose. It has a 6-month fertilizer in it,
Nice.
so it gets a good starter fertilizer.
All right, and so I see that you have 2 different sizes of fuchsias, and these are gorgeous fuchsias. But how come we're not just planting the baby ones, the tiny
Well, I
ones?
wanted some instant gratification and color right away in the
Ah.
yard, so I went ahead and got a couple big ones to start with.
Look at that. Oh, it's like almost done.
Yes, it's almost done.
And why wouldn't I just put this one in all by itself?
Well, because when it's done blooming or slowing down, the other ones will take over.
Ah, okay. And I think I've learned you want to cram and jam in hanging baskets. You want a full one tomorrow. It looks like it's been growing on and on.
Right.
And so also with fuchsias, for care, we want these in afternoon shade?
Afternoon shade, and also too on your new ones here, you might give them a pinch right
why's
on the
that?
end, and they'll bush out, and you'll have so much more fullness to them.
Oh, nice. And more flowers.
More flowers.
All right. Are you going to start in yours?
Yep, I'm gonna do the pink one in the middle of mine.
All right. And I noticed too, should we be worried that there's so many roots here in these pots like that?
No, just fluff them up a little bit.
Like this? Okay.
Yep,
And really they'll kind of push out
They'll-
into this new pot right now.
that's right. These will be full before you know it.
And so we also want to make sure that we fill in all these empty spaces with more of this lovely black gold soil.
Yep, you don't want any air spaces in there.
And it's kind of nice to have a square pot because you really can understand where to put things, and it makes it just a little easier sometimes. The
That's
round pots
right.
are a little more difficult.
These will be fun hanging in my tree in my side yard.
Ah, nice. And then ongoing in the summer, we might have to augment that fertilizer that's already in the soil.
You might want, it's the heavy bloomers like a little more fertilizer. So I'd go ahead and recommend a water soluble.
All right. And then I know the hummingbirds are going to be really happy because they love these flowers.
They do. It's a couple different flavors we have here, and you can buy all the different flavors of fuchsias in your local nurseries.
And speaking of local nurseries, there's a special day today with fuchsias.
That's right. It's Fred Meyer Planting Day, the annual event. You come in and buy your containers and your plants, and we'll plant them up for you in black gold all-purpose soil.
Oh, really? I don't have to do any of the mess at home then?
No, you can have it all done right there and drive them home ready to put out.
I love that idea because sometimes we don't have a space at our house to kind of make a big mess. We don't have a planting area.
Not everybody has a greenhouse, Trudy.
I know. It's kind of nice you do.
Yes, it's a very good event. So if you're out and about today, come down to any of the Fred Meyers and get your plants planted out.
Well, you heard
and black
it here.
gold all-purpose.
And that's the most important thing. So if you're doing any of your hanging baskets, if you're doing them at home, make sure you get black gold soil because it is the best one. And get your plants at any of your local independent garden centers or go to Fred Meyer's today and they could just do it for you. Thanks so much, Donna. Have fun.
Thank you. We will.
You know, tree damage can happen at any time of the year, but especially in a wintertime after we have a heavy snow or some ice or even strong winds, you might go out to your garden and see a limb that's got this done to it. And you know, the first thought is that we just cut them off, but there really is a specific way to cut them so you don't cause even more damage to the tree.
Right, and it's called the 3-cut pruning technique. And so the first cut is always an undercut. And what that does is relieves the pressure from the limb, and then when you do make the final cut, it doesn't cut the whole bark, doesn't strip off and strip into the good part of the tree.
Yeah.
And then the second cut is always away from that undercut because you want to take off all that weight before you make the third and final cut.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start here, but we're going to go through this and we're going to come back in a couple of minutes and show you what happens. So William took over because I got tired, but he's almost done, and here it's nice and clean cut, and it took all the weight off of the damaged piece, and so we can get ready to make the third and final cut. Was at the collar of the tree, and you can kind of see where it's kind of bumped out because that's where the hormones of the tree are going to come out and actually heal over that wound. And you can see this one over here of this scar that was done several years ago, and the tree actually comes around and forms almost like a scab and covers up that scar from the branch that was taken off.
So I'm going to start cutting this last cut, and we'll see what it looks like when I'm all done. Okay, Judy.
Oh, beautiful
There it is.
job.
Well, and if you look at this, Judy, this is really nice because the collar is still fine. So that means it'll grow around like the example we showed earlier on this tree. And really it is very healthy for the tree. Now, a couple of things. If you have a large limb that's broken, we suggest you get an arborist to do this because they're very heavy. Even this one might not look that big, but it's really got some heft to it. Now, if they're small, or, you know, if they're about maybe the size of your arm, tackle them. But even if they're really up high, you might want to think about getting some help.
You know, that's really the best thing to do is make sure that you're safe and then also that the health of the tree is involved. So make sure you use that 3-cut pruning technique.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
They had to take the car, they had to get it open with the jaws of life, take me out on a backboard, took me to a Trauma One center. I absolutely feel like the Subaru saved my life.
Well, we trust Capital. We trust our salesperson here, Jackie.
Jackie's great. I believe that she really cares about us.
She teaches me about the Subaru.
Our way on the Parkway.
At French Prairie Perennials, we take pride at being different. From rare, unique, and unusual plant material and handcrafted garden art to our visualscaping program, we can help you create an outdoor living space as unique as you are. Our gift shop has home and garden decor and gifts for all occasions. Visit us at our new location in Aurora, a quick drive from Portland off I-5. French Prairie Perennials. Outdoor living elevated.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall.
Locally grown, fresh from the farm, stylish and sustainable, your dream yard starts at Al's Garden Center. Create an inviting gathering place for family and friends with a new patio furniture collection. Our beautiful furniture transforms any outdoor space, large or small. It's like having an extra room outdoors. Then add impact with colorful pottery. Hundreds of unique designs and sizes, all on sale now. Al's Garden Centers in Woodburn, Sherwood, and Gresham.
And It is absolutely delightful to be here at Wooden Shoe today again, and I'm with Laura. And Laura, we are in the brand new wine tasting room. You've got to tell me a little bit about this.
Well, it's taken about 3 years to come about, but we finally have our own wine tasting room. And we planted vineyards about 8 years ago. We've been making wine for about 3 years. And it's finally got its own little home here at Wooden Shoe. We're open for the festival.
So this is wine from Wooden Shoe then?
Yes, we grow our own grapes. We have a winemaker. His name is Sean Driggers, but we grow our own grapes, and he makes it, brings it back to us, and we sell it here, and we have wine and tulips.
And it's a beautiful view of the whole place here, because the doors that go up and down are actually glass, so you get all season long you can look out there.
We have glass doors, exactly. So if we have bad weather, we have people that you can come inside. We can keep the doors closed. You can still see the vineyards out there, and
there's even some local brew as a beer too, not just the wine.
Yes. If you're not a wine drinker, we have beer. We have local beers from Feckin and Seven Brides.
Nice.
You can come out and enjoy that too.
And then you also are doing a great little wine tour now as well.
We are. We have something called the Wine Wagon, and we take 10 people at a time out to our hazelnut orchards and then through the vineyards, and there's a little food and wine pairing that goes with that.
Wow.
It's $25 a person, and there's a lot of education that goes with that about how to grow grapes and how we make our wine.
And really, what a time to come out to this, because this is peak bloom time, isn't it?
It is peak bloom time right now, yes. And I would advise people to come now. It's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing out there right now.
And I hear that this last weekend was your biggest weekend ever.
We had, I believe, close to 70,000 people on Saturday, and I haven't got the numbers for Sunday yet. But it was pretty crazy, but wonderful. Everybody was happy and having a lot of fun. Yeah.
And one of the great things about actually tonight is your Spark Festival. What's it called, Spark?
So we call it Spark Night, and we have steam engine tractors out here that will put hazelnut shells and real wood into their engines, and as soon as we call it dark 30, as soon as it gets dark, we will have them steam up their tractors, and the sparks fly out the top. It's just beautiful to see. It's a lot of fun.
Now, I'm assuming that if it's a bad rainy night, that will be canceled.
Yes, we'll reschedule if it ends up raining tonight.
And then also tell me about the Garden Time tulip, because we got them last year and they're blooming now. They're stunning.
They're stunning and they're absolutely beautiful. We feel honored to have them here.
As do we, for you naming it. We love that.
Yeah, so people should come out and see that too, and order those as well.
And right now, if you place a $50 order, something happens, doesn't it?
Yes, so if you place an order for bulbs for $50 or more, we'll give you a day pass for next season, as well as we'll throw in a bunch of iris bulbs as well.
Wonderful. This is a world-known event. It's wonderful, and the tulips really are just stunning right now. Now you can have wine too. So for all of the information that you need to know about what's going on and when things are happening, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
As spring arrives and the sun comes out more, it's not just plants that you see popping up out of the ground. You also start to see some bugs.
Sometimes on south-facing walls, because they're warm from the heat, you'll see box elder bugs congregating, but don't worry, they're not going to do any damage.
In fact, the only thing that they really do is they leave a little fecal spot. Now, that can be a problem inside because it can also get on your curtains and stuff.
So to get rid of them on the outside, you could use a spray of water, you can use a shop vac, or even take your broom and just sweep them down.
And if you're inside, you can sweep them or just vacuum them up.
So if you do see them congregating on that south wall, don't worry, because in a few short weeks, they'll be gone.
Welcome to Drake's, not your ordinary garden center. Grab a cup of coffee at Antonio's and wander the nursery for the perfect plant. Check out the landscape design showrooms for ideas, then meet with a designer. Come pick out a bouquet of flowers for dinner or for that someone special. Find something distinctive for your home or your garden. Imagine the possibilities and let Drake's turn them into realities. Drake's 7Ds on Southwest Shoals Ferry Road in Portland.
Damien, fancy meeting you here at Standard TV and Appliance.
I had no idea they sold mattresses.
Why, certainly they do. As a matter of fact, they have the largest selection of beauty rest mattresses in the entire state.
Huge price cuts now on Standard's all-star lineup of mattresses, including Beauty Rest Black.
I'm going to sleep great tonight.
A hometown favorite since 1947 for appliances, TVs,
And mattresses.
You got it. Standard TV and appliance.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
Your garden is only as good as the ingredients you use. That's where Black Gold can help. Black Gold Seedling Mix is formulated for successful seed germination and strong seedling growth. Black Gold Seedling Mix is organic and OMRI listed, so you can start this year's organic garden outright. Look for Black Gold at your local garden center or go online to blackgold.bz. Black Gold, all the riches of the earth.
So I am sitting here with Dr. Ken Weiser, and we are at Providence Hospital. And you know, we get books quite often at Garden Time. We just received this one, and it made us start thinking about so many gardeners that have allergies and struggle, especially in springtime, by being outside. So we thought, who better to talk to than Dr. Ken Weiser here about allergies, because that's really what you look at, isn't it?
Yeah, we look at the whole person. How can we reduce people's reaction to allergens without drugs, essentially?
Certainly. And so then, from a gardening person's perspective, it would seem like to me, there's always going to be pollen and stuff out there that we're going to struggle with, but there are some things that we can do. Let's talk about some of those.
Yeah, well, you can either hold your breath for a really long time, and that's not going to work.
No.
Or you can do lots of little things that are going to take you away from the threshold of misery. The threshold of misery of sneezing, coughing, tiredness, runny eyes, all that stuff. So the main thing is really hygiene.
Really?
Now, hygiene's hard to do outside, but you can do it. You can wear a mask, a surgical mask or some kind of mask, even a hat, and then they have the hats with a big, cloth around. Hydration, really important.
Really?
Yes, really, really important. Drinking lots of fluids, because basically you breathe the allergens into your nose and sinuses. And if you get dry, they get stuck there. And if they get stuck there, you react. So you have little cilia, little hairs that go brrrr, all the way down to the back of your throat, and then the allergens are supposed to go into your stomach, and stomach acid's supposed to kill them. But if they stay there, we have problems. So lots of hydration. And as you garden, take breaks. Drink water, wash your hands, because we get a lot of allergens from our hands. You're gardening, you touch your face, you touch your nose, you touch your eyes, you touch your clothes. And then hygiene in terms of washing out your nose and sinuses.
It's a teapot.
It's a nose teapot.
Oh, that's lovely.
So you can wash out the allergens from your sinuses too, not just your hands. So you can use this with saline solution, and there's lots of different kinds, a neti pot or other things. And you can do that a few times a day. Also, when you get home, hygiene, wash your clothes, wash your bedding, especially your pillowcases, because this stuff's going to persist. So lowering your exposure is really, really, really important.
And so even though there's all kinds of things out there that as a medicine perspective can help us, doing a lot of these things really is a big step in beginning to alleviate some of those issues that we would have.
Yeah, the medicines, the OTC medicines, they're just going to stop your body from doing what it wants to do, which is trying to get rid of the allergens. But if you have less allergens, you're not going to react.
And you really, I think that you want to have some type of reaction. Our bodies are built to react to things. So if we stop all those, then we really don't know what might actually be going on.
We don't know what's going on, your body can't get rid of it, and you don't know what's actually triggering it.
Yeah.
So your body is telling you something's wrong, great. So go upstream to stop what's causing that.
Yeah.
Go to the cause, not to the effect.
So certainly, Dr. Weiser, at this time of year, we're all thinking pollen, but there's a host of other things too that people can be allergic to.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Allergies are basically steps up a ladder, and then you hit the top of the ladder and you hit your threshold, and boom, you start getting reactions.
Yeah.
So there can be food allergies that are partially up that ladder. People allergic to dairy, wheat, chocolate, sugar, whatever it is. There are allergens in food. There are people allergic to certain medicines, certain soaps. People can be allergic to anything, and they can all add up, and not just pollen, but lots of different things in the environment. And as the seasons change and we get drier and we get outside more, all of a sudden, boom, 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 and then we think it's pollen, but pollen may be the last thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So really, you got to look at this as a whole person. What do you eat? Are you sleeping enough? You get enough fruits and veggies? You're not eating too much sugar? You avoiding the things that you know you don't digest well or you react with? Because they can all add up to where, boom, you get hit. So you need to get worked up. Talk to your doctor, talk to your local health practitioner, find out what's happening with your body, your reactions, and walk on back down that ladder so you don't react.
So, and that's very smart. So take a less myopic view of just pollen and maybe look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, it's that time of year where we have to deal with things like this if we're in the garden. So you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the Providence website where they have some wonderful information. Or go to your doctor, check with him, and see if you can find out how to alleviate these problems so you can really enjoy your garden all year long. Thank you so much, Dr.
My
Weiser.
pleasure.
I am in Newburgh at the Chehalem Cultural Center, and it's Camellia time. Every year they have this wonderful Camellia Festival, and I'm with some people that are going to talk all about camellias. So I'm with Kathy from the Camellia Society of Oregon, and you brought all of these beautiful blooms to talk about today.
Yeah, we're so excited because we're having the 75th annual Oregon Camellia Society show here on Saturday. And here are just a few of the blooms that you'll be seeing. This one is Night Rider. It's one of our darkest red camellias. It even has red roots. This one is Ocon. It's a Higo camellia, and it always opens flat with either 100 to 300 stamens in the center. And it was cultivated by samurai warriors in southern Japan for their shogun, and eventually would be planted on their ancestors' graves.
Beautiful.
This is Nicky Crisp, a hybrid from New Zealand, and it's, I think, one of the favorite pinks of all camellia lovers. You can see it when it's out in the garden, it almost glows.
Very pretty.
This is Tayo. Its specialty is this variegated foliage, and its flower is like a little whirligig in this lovely coral red color.
Very delicate.
Now, Debbie is a great camellia for out in the landscape because it holds up really well to our rains in the winter and spring, and the color carries really well in the garden. This is Momiji no Higurashi, these two here. It's a striped camellia. It's striped red and white, and it's really just lovely. You can see there's
Very
just
unique.
such a tremendous variety in the shapes and
You don't
forms.
think about that. You think there's like two kinds.
Right.
You know?
That's, you see, because there's so many old camellias driving around the Portland, Newburgh area, and they tended to be one or two colors, but there's such a variety. This white one is so lovely. It was bred here in Oregon in the 1950s. So, and Bob Hope, how could I forget Bob Hope? It's
a famous one.
It's beautiful, big, red, flashy.
Yeah, and some plants to show too.
Yes.
So, which is, we have to remember to tell you that many of these are for sale today, so you have to come out. But tell us about these.
Yes, these are the 1-gallon plants will be for sale at the Newburgh Festival. This one is called Fire Dance Variegated, and it's spectacular, sort of thunderbolt style variegation on the petals. Really
Very
terrific.
unusual.
This one is called Ruth Tinkle. It is a rose form camellia and named after a famous member of the Oregon Camellia Society. She and her husband Oscar were just great contributors. And this last one here is called Lucky Star. really a beautiful pink in an unusual shape.
Pretty form, very
Yes.
nice. So now we're talking about how beautiful they are, but they're really easy for a landscape.
They are. The Camellia really is really very easy to grow. They're very tolerant, and in fact, as they become mature, they become quite drought tolerant, and they're not like rhododendrons, which need tremendous amounts of water in the summer. The roots grow much deeper, and so they're so easy. Also, because they're evergreen, the shiny leaf just stands out so well in our dreary winters.
That's for
so
sure.
that's great. Plus, they don't need too much. We usually fertilize in March with a general like 10-10-10 fertilizer, and otherwise they're pretty carefree.
They're good to go.
They're good to go.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow, so you got that part. So there's lots of beautiful blooms to come see today. Really, you're going to get taken away from all the pretty flowers. But I'm going to talk to Erin now about all the other festivities. So Erin, what is your responsibility?
So I'm Erin Padilla, and I'm in charge of arts and public programming here at the Chehalem Cultural Center. So I get to join Brian Stewart, our co-chair of the Camellia Festival, and put this festival together. And at its core, it's a free community event that celebrates culture, arts, and horticulture. And it's an all-day event, 10 to 4. We start with a run at 9, and there's kids' activities, really something for every age and all day.
I like to come because Hello Kitty will be here, personal
Yes.
appearance. She doesn't come everywhere. Dragon dances, there'll be food.
There's food. We have koi fusion this year, which we're really excited about. We have coffee all day. That's a huge plus. Wine, beer. Yeah,
It's just
gonna
lots of fun.
It's a lot of fun. We really have a great time.
I also heard there'll be taiko drummers.
Oh yes, we have the N Taiko group, which is wonderful. They're children taiko drummers, so they just charm the whole audience. We have the Monmouth Taiko group. We have Mini Doka swing band. We have a koto performance with Mitzi and her group. We have demonstrations about ikebana and origami with Nana Belarud. We have trolley tours that go around Newburgh and talk about the Newburgh history. So many activities. It's really a wonderful day.
Well, you know, if you haven't come out before, it's so much fun. It's really some kind of different twist because there's the culture of the Asian countries that love Camellia so much, and that really comes true with all the different festivities. If you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over their website and get all that information to stop out today. Well, thanks so much. Have a great day.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
Since 1926, Bonide has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. Want a picture-perfect lawn this summer? If weeds and clover are taking over, Bonide's Weed and Feed is the solution to your lawn problems. And with Vigor X, it prepares your lawn for summer too. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
Over the 30 years that our family has been in the nursery industry, we've learned that anyone can supply a customer with plants and garden supplies. But it's supplying those plants and supplies backed by a knowledgeable staff that can transform a garden and take it from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what we do at Sagawa Nursery. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
So I'm standing here with Jeff of Grimm's Fuels. Now, first of all, Jeff, you guys are a lot more than just fuel. So let's talk about some of the other products you have.
Sure, we have, in the wintertime, we have the firewood and the fuel oils, of course, and that was kind of where we started. And then in the summertime, we branch out and do more landscape supply products. So the bark dust, the compost.
And you even have some types of gravels for like paths and stuff as well, don't you?
Pathways, driveway gravels, stuff like that. Pea gravel for under the swing sets and playground areas. Same thing with the chips. We have the cedar chips that are good for under play structures.
And then you have a great product that I know that you personally really like, which is a very, very fine, almost sand-like compost. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we call it our lawn and turf mix, and it's my personal. I have a big lawn, and so unfortunately, sometimes
nobody's going to judge you on that, Jeff.
That's when you have to mow. So it's real super fine compost. It's mixed with sand and like coffee ground consistency compost. So I'll aerate my lawn and then put down some overseed and then spray on the lawn and turf mix on a real fine layer. Helps keep those moisture in the seeds, and so they can germinate. Keeps the birds and stuff from attacking and eating it all.
Well, now today though we are actually at our producer's house, and they are having this great, well, I love this concept where they actually blow the compost on. They're getting some garden mulch blown on. Tell me about that and how that process works.
Well, garden mulch is the organic compost that we made from the stuff that comes into our yard debris recycling center. So we take your yard debris or Jeff's yard debris from his can at the curbside.
Sure.
We take that and we grind it up and we put it in our compost piles and heat it up to 140 to 160 degrees. And keep it there that way for 4 to 6 months.
Wow.
So it cooks out all those weed seeds and herbicide residuals.
So if there's any left over, if people have sprayed in their yard some kind of chemical thing, that will cook it out.
Yeah, it cooks it out very quickly. The stuff that we can get our hands on as consumers anymore has got a real short half-life, the Roundup and stuff. It breaks down naturally in 30 days. Well, you cook it at 140 to 160 degrees and it breaks down even faster. And then all our compost is certified by the U.S. Composting Council to be weed-free and free of pesticides and herbicide residuals.
And so then, of course, people can have it either delivered or they can come out and pick it up. And then they can choose to put it on by wheelbarrow, which is a lot of work, or they can have you guys come out and blow on the stuff, which is so simple for the gardener.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a lot less work than the old shovel and rake method.
It really is.
Yes.
Well, you know, one of the things that I love about having this kind of stuff done is they don't just come in and blow it around. They actually make sure that the sidewalks, everything is cleaned after they're done. It's a real great process.
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in the fact that we do the cleanup. So you don't have to do anything except sit on the porch and drink coffee if you like. And
unless it's in the afternoon, and then they could drink a beer while they watch it happen.
That's right. But no beer for the guys.
No.
So yeah, they do all the work, all the cleanup, the whole 9 yards.
So Jeff, you also have a great product called a blended soil. First of all, what does that mean? And then what is the value of having it in your garden?
Well, blended soil is like a topsoil substitute. By definition, the topsoil is the top 4 inches of earth, and we just don't have much of that out there. So with our poor quality soils, we kind of manufacture what we call blended soil. So we'll take sandy loam, sandy silty soil, we'll mix it with our compost and some mushroom compost. So then you can use that in like a raised bed. It's real popular for flowers and vegetables in a raised bed or a berm or any place you just need more soil.
So tell me a couple of things. What would be the benefits of having this mulch sprayed on?
Well, the garden mulch is more nutritious. It's better for your plants and soils than the straight bark dust. And we sell a lot of straight bark dust also. We have the reds, the browns, and the black kinds of bark dust. But the garden mulch has just more nutrients. It's a compost.
And they can spray any of the bark dust on, whether it's the garden mulch or the other varieties as well.
That's correct, yeah. And then you get weed seed. You know, in the summertime you want to keep your plants moist and again retain some moisture, so it's good for that. And weed suppression.
Yeah. And so there you have it. You know, you work hard in your garden, you get out there, you do all the job, it looks really great, and the perfect topping for that would be to call Grimm's, have them come out and blow on some either bark dust or some of the garden mulch. Jeff, it's always a delight hanging out here and talking with you. Thank you so much.
All right, let's get the shovel and get to work.
That's right. So I'm out here at Bauman's and I'm with Brian Bauman, and you were at Garden Palooza, and there was a lot of fun stuff going on out there, wasn't there?
Garden Palooza was amazing this year. Not only did we have amazing weather, but we had, amazing plants. It was a lot of fun.
It really was. And so you're kind of going to continue that celebration out there at Fir Point Farm with your store there.
We this will actually be our third year that we're at Fir Point Farms as their guest nursery. Jack and Jessica Romaine of Country Grains have invited us out here to come out, stay at Fir Point from now actually until July 3rd.
Yeah, or unless it's really busy, you'll be there. You're just going to play it by ear, but that's when you're planning it, right?
Yes, that's the plan right now. So today is actually our grand opening at Fir Point Farms. It was a little crazy at Garden Palooza.
It was.
There was a few people, but it was beautiful weather. And I had lots of people say, well, we need to come back. And days like today would be a great day to come back, take in everything that's at Fir Point, the great bakery there, and then we will have hanging baskets and some other specials going on.
You have some great specials, and I think one of them are these tulips, are they not?
I always look for good buys, and one of the things that I try to do for our customers is go out, okay, I can get a really good deal, and if I buy a whole bunch of them, and then rather than just trying to make more money on it, we'll try and give a better price for our customers. So these tulip planters are usually like $40 a piece. But I got a whole bunch of them for this weekend because I knew it was our grand opening at Fir Point. They're only $19.99.
Wow, that's a great deal.
Yeah, there's over 20 plus bulbs in each one of these pots. They're only one color per pot, but at $20.
Well, and they're beautiful. And then you can always just plant them in your garden after
That's right, they're ready to go.
And so tell me again, where would people find the hours? Do you know the hours you're going to be open there at Fir Point?
So you can always go to baumanfarms.com or to Fir Point Farms. Both places will have a link to a page where we'll talk about all of our hours and when we're there, because we do follow Fir Point Farms hours. So right now, through the month of April, they're going to be closed on Sunday and Monday. So don't come out tomorrow. Come out today, or come out during the week next week and grab a sandwich and stroll through the farm and have a great time.
But Brian, it's not just the changes that you're going to do with the store out there at Fir Point. You guys have done some absolutely amazing changes right here at the home store.
It's been a busy spring, which is great. We're very lucky that our customers have been supporting us, so coming out to our store. And one of the things that we were always concerned about, our store just kind of each year from the very first little store that my mom started alongside the road, got a little bigger, and eventually the parking went right through the middle of everything.
Yeah.
You had plants on one side, plants on the other side, and you drove right through the middle, and we got worried about kids running back and forth with those cars. So we sat down this winter and we completely redid our parking lot so that all the parking is up front now and all the plants and stuff are out back, which means that we've created a whole new shopping environment for people to come. My dad came out the other day and he said, Brian, it feels like a garden center around here. And I thought, well, that's exactly what I was going for.
Bless his heart. He gets it now, doesn't he?
That's my farmer dad. But it's great. I love the fact that people can really take their time and enjoy our new shopping experience here.
Well, and you have so much to offer. I mean, it really is like a one-stop shopping for food, for pastries, for baked goods, now for plants. It's a lovely place, and I love that you even put like a covered walking area between the greenhouses. It's very clever.
Thank you. And it's been a whole family affair. In fact, my cousin just started a brand new hard cider company. So now actually at Bauman's, you can actually come get a glass of our hard cider made from our apple cider and our berries that we grow on the farm, stroll around in this new shopping experience and have a glass of cider and enjoy it. In fact, I'll have to have you guys come back out later and try some of that cider.
Well, I'll tell you what, it really is delightful. So for more information on all of these great changes that are going on at Bauman's, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Brian, such a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.
Look at your home. Winter left behind grungy stained decks, walks, siding and lawn furniture. You know they look awful. Clean them all today with the original and still the best 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Since 1977, 30 Seconds has delivered clean when you want it clean. Easy to use, spray it on, wait, then hose away winter dirt, grime and stains from algae and mold. From our family to yours, thank you for buying 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Find it at leading home stores and garden centers.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature blooming advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
Your garden is only as good as the ingredients you use. That's where Black Gold can help. Black Gold seedling mix is formulated for successful seed germination and strong seedling growth. Black Gold seedling mix is organic and OMRI listed, so you can start this year's organic garden outright. Look for Black Gold at your local garden center or go online to blackgold.bz. Black Gold, all the riches of the earth.
Millions of tulip bulbs transform this farm into one of Oregon's most beautiful events. The Iversons invite you to the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival presented by Silverton Health. Enjoy a tulip market, food and wine, and fun for the kids. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival open daily 9 to 6, now through May 1st.
So I'm here with Norm from Lily Miller. And Norm, you know, we are in the Northwest and we have moss, and I'm spraying right now the moss out for
Absolutely, absolutely. That is probably the most effective way to control mosses with a liquid application. There are other options, but you know, here in the Northwest, due to the climate that we have, the shade that we have, and actually the soils that we have, it's very conducive to moss. If you go east of the mountains, Bend, Redmond, Prineville, even over into central Washington, have very little, if any, moss in the lawns because of the soil conditions.
And I think people get they get concerned and frustrated because every year it seems like it comes back, and it's really, a lot of it has to do with our climate.
Well, the climate and also the maintenance factor.
Yeah.
A lot of the consumers, you know, they want to fertilize once a year and they think that's all that's necessary, so they let it go. They also want it to look like a golf course, so they mow it too close. The thing about moss is it's like weeds. If you don't try to take care of it and build a thick, healthy turf, it's going to return year after year with vengeance sometimes too.
Yeah, now this stuff that we used, in a little bit we'll take this up and you can actually see the dramatic difference of how quickly this one works. But you do have a couple of other options here.
We do have. If the consumer doesn't want or the customer does not want to use a liquid application works faster because it's absorbed readily right into the moss itself.
Sure.
The granular takes a little bit longer to break down with some of the moisture that we have. So if you have a fertilizer spreader, you can put it down with a fertilizer spreader. We recommend that. And then also you can get the one with the fertilizer as well. So you have moss out that will just kill the moss, and then you have moss out plus fertilizer, which will kill the moss and then help induce some growth to the grass.
Now, once it's dead and you see that it's dying out, there are some things that you need to do to help make sure that it doesn't come back.
Can do. You can use a thatching rake, something like similar like this. You want to be sure and let it kill itself out and dry out a little bit. You can use a thatching rake. You can get a thatching blade for your lawnmower. You can actually rent a thatcher and remove it. And then if you have a large amount of moss, such as we have here in this lawn, you may want to reseed, and that might be just a little bit further down the road when we get a little bit warmer temperatures.
Yeah, because if you do it too quick and it starts growing, it will defeat the purpose of a nice thick lawn.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So once the stuff turns brown, and it really does have to turn brown, if you go too quickly, you're defeating the purpose of using the product.
After you just let that spray on there, you let it set for day or 2 days and then let it dry out a little bit more. You're going to be a lot better it's be a lot more effective when you try to remove it then.
And then once that's done, you just put the grass seed down and then maintain it.
Grass seed down, a little bit of fertilizer, and then just hope we get a little bit more sunshine to help germinate the grass.
Now, Norm, this is an example of how quickly this product works because it's only been a few minutes.
Oh,
and look at that.
Look at that. Oh, mercy day. Well, I did tell you the liquid is fast.
It's very fast. Now, is this the time when it turns this dark brown? Is this the time then that you can go ahead and start raking it out?
Well, you should wait just a little bit because you put water down on it, and moss is like a sponge. It's absorbed all this moisture, and you want to let the chemical work a little bit longer on it, and then it'll dry out a little bit because you don't want to tear out any of the good grasses that you may have left. In this particular case, however, you may really consider some reseeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's about 99% moss in that little test pot right there. The other thing you can do at this time of year is to use a super sweet product, and that helps sweeten up the soil. It's a calcium carbonate. It breaks down with water and it gets into the soil as well. And when you use the moss out of the liquid or the granule, that'll green the lawn and not induce a bunch of growth, because a lot of people don't want to mow because it is a little bit early to get out there mowing the water.
And the super sweet will break down and give you a little fertilizer kind of
stuff. It does. It breaks down the NP and K, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash that's in the soil. That's what starts to break down as the nutrients have been stored over the winter period.
Well, for more information on what to do with moss in your lawn, you can go to gardentime.tv or any of your independent garden centers. It is always a pleasure to kill moss with you. Thanks so much.
It's always a great time. Thank you.
Today's tip of the week is painting weeds with weed killer. Sometimes you find a broadleaf weed right next to an ornamental plant, and you don't want to spray any kind of an herbicide or weed killer on that weed and probably damage this really pretty plant. So what you do is you take a concentrate weed killer and pour it into a disposable container and use a disposable paintbrush. And all you do is use your paintbrush and paint it on the weed. And what you're doing is putting the weed killer exactly on that weed and not damaging any of the plants around there. So that's our tip of the week, painting weeds with weed killer.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. Gardening makes for wonderful family time. Whether it's updating your landscape or planting a veggie garden, at Portland Nursery, our great selection and staff of professionals can help ensure your family's success. Visit portlandnursery.com for a list of our classes, events, or sign up for our newsletter. Portland Nursery, let our family help your family grow at 50th and Stark or 90th and Division.
Do you want to garden more of the year? Then look no further than the Greenhouse Catalog. Our spacious Solex greenhouses provide plenty of room to start hundreds of plants. Get a jump on your spring garden and continue harvesting long after the first frost. Extend your growing season and enjoy mouth-watering tomatoes and fresh vegetables with Solex. Come see us in Salem for factory direct discounts. Find out more at greenhousecatalog.com.
For over 100 years, Collier Arbor Care and Bartlett Tree Experts have provided tree and shrub care services to the Portland metropolitan area.
From large tree and small shrub pruning, tree removal, and stump grinding, we can handle all your tree care needs.
Our arborists diagnose and treat your toughest insect and disease problems.
We also have organic solutions for growing and maintaining healthy gardens, as well as organic nutrition for your trees and shrubs.
Collier and Bartlett, environmentally friendly since 1907.
Well, spring is the time to get ready for all those summer parties. I'm with James from 32nd Outdoor Cleaner. And James, let's talk about getting our decks ready for the season.
All right, and there's certainly a lot to do this time of year. So what we got is our 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner, which is the product that's been on the market in the Pacific Northwest since 1977. And it's really easy to use and fast acting and gives those instant results that people love.
You know, and I noticed that the label looks a little different, but it's really the same product that you have.
100%. We've got a new little facelift. So it's been around since 39 years, and this is our second label change, and hopefully everybody likes it.
Well, I think everybody likes it because it's so easy. So tell us again how to apply it that makes it so easy.
Well, you can mix it in a tank sprayer, or in the case of this pack here, it's got a battery operated sprayer, so there's no mixing whatsoever. This comes in a 1.3 gallon, and you simply can use it on surfaces around the home, patio furniture, lawn furniture, steps, decks, gutters, fences, you name it.
And so why don't we apply it? And
Sure.
So all you have to do is just
With
trigger
this
sprayer.
one, yeah, the batteries are all included, so you just switch out the caps and can demo it here on the deck here, and we can just do a small area just so listeners can see. Spray it on the surface when it's dry.
Okay, on a dry surface.
A dry surface,
Okay.
just saturate it evenly. You can adjust the spray nozzle just depending on whether you get wind as a factor, and just wet it with the product.
And you don't have to wear any special equipment?
No, not really, no. You can just, you know, it's safe around your plants and lawns as well, so you're just rinsing it off into the soil. And you can see it starts activating immediately.
Already, yeah.
So
Look at
you're
the
supposed
color.
to let it sit for about 3 minutes, but it virtually works within 30 seconds, as you can see.
Just like the name.
Just like the name says, but we do require you to leave it on about 3 minutes just to penetrate into the surface and draw out any residual stains in there. So.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for it to set and to lift all of that soil, let's go and talk about some of the other products.
Great.
James, I see that you have all kinds of sizes here, so there's products for bigger jobs.
Yes, definitely. When you're doing large surface areas like these decks or siding, you're going to need to use the gallon concentrate, which is more economical. You mix that just with water in a tank sprayer like this one here, which has got the Viton seals and gaskets in, available at your local hardware store. You probably got one in the garage somewhere as well. So you can mix one of those up, and we also got it in the 2.5 gallon size, which is becoming really popular for those very large jobs. So you got lots of options for applicators. Mix it in 1-to-1, saturate the surface just like we did at the test area back there, and just rinse it off with a hose.
And I noticed too that you have a product too for like roofs and things.
Yes, certainly those hard to reach areas and that are sort of not accessible to everybody. We've got the hose end sprayer with the spray and walk away. Now this product doesn't give the instant results that you'll see with the outdoor cleaner. This one you'll spray on that roof and it will just die over time. So Mother Nature just kills it over time. Excuse me. So you'll just saturate the surface with this product and just let it die.
Yeah, just like it says, walk away.
Just spray and walk away, just like the name says. I tend to brush those big clumps off because it saves on, the economics of using the liquid itself. So if you can brush off those big clumpy bits and then just spray it with this product, and then just dies over coming weeks and months and rinses off with rain or erodes with the weather.
Right, well, just as easy as the other products.
Correct, yeah, just lazy man's way of doing it.
Well, that's okay, we like that. Well, speaking of lazy way, let's go back and see how much that's cleaned in just these couple minutes.
Okay.
James, that is so fast and easy. It looks like it's all completed.
Yes, certainly on a surface that has got this amount of growth on, it's that easy. If it's heavier growth, we sometimes recommending brushing with the grain just to break up that tramped in dirt. And we also don't like it to dry on the surface. And you can see just on the edge here where it's drying up. You can just sort of reapply with the product just to wet those surface areas.
Okay.
Just to make sure that you get rid of all that crud that's on the surface without drying off, and really easy to use. And then you can take a brush like this and just brush with the grain. I mean, it's obviously clean already, but you're just really breaking up any dirt that's in the crevices of the wood. And you can see the brown buildup there. That's just dust that's settled on the surface. And basically you'll have a crystal clear surface when you rinse it off with a garden hose.
And here's the hose, so you want to do the honors?
I shall,
Wow, that is, and you can see the older section that didn't get applied, the application, and the newer one. It's just wonderful. How beautiful.
Yeah, so it's that simple. You can rinse it off into your lawns. It's not systemic, so it's not going to attack a root system. And then, once it's dry, it's inactive, and you'll have a crystal clear deck.
And you're ready to have a party that evening.
You are. Or wedding or whatever might come your way.
Well, if you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over James's website and you can see where you can pick up this product and clean all of your decks and all your surfaces and get ready for the summer. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you for watching Garden Time. And the weather is a bit warmer, those camellias are blooming, but so is this beautiful rhododendron right here at our state capitol.
And don't forget to go to gardentime.tv to check out our events page to see what's happening in your neighborhood.
And if you'd like to re-watch something you saw today, you can also go to gardentime.tv.
William and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.